going to go for a Nick Matthew victory in 4 games. I just think the experience over youth will shine through tonight.
And out.
I think Elshorbagy, with some of his antics
please,
on
the
social
front wall,
media, have
be careful with the flash
put
photography.
an unnecessary pressure on the Egyptian. Whenever you listen to him speak, he's well aware that he's only 23 years of age and
One love.
probably has many more world titles or world championships ahead of him, and that also will grate at somebody like Nick Matthew. He's at the twilight stage of his career.
Not out.
Well, this start, the bit of discussion before on that first rally was due to a rogue photographer flashing away on his camera. 11 years between them, PJ. It's add another 9, and then you'll have the gap that myself and you possess. 3-1 victory, you predict, for Nick Matthew. Interesting.
Well, Mohamed Elshorbagy has been saying to Nick Matthew that in between games the Englishman likes to stand up generally. He doesn't like to take a seat to get some rest in that 2-minute interval, and Elshorbagy claims that he's going to play at such a ferocious pace that it's going to force the Englishman to actually sit down for once. That's a pretty bold statement, and that will only fuel the fire of Nick Matthew. And as we said before, the last thing he needs is more incentive. Yeah.
Possibly a little bit of a double bluff as well about the pace, because Mohamed Elshorbagy can play as fast as pace as anyone, but he can also slow the ball down cleverly.
That's too good.
Yes, lad. Too low.
See this again.
What did you say?
Well, I didn't think that was a let. I felt that
Elshorbagy,
he's got to go through and play the ball there.
I thought you were just trying to defend your prediction.
Well, that as well, yeah, obviously.
I mean, the build-up to this has been magnificent, like you say, with the back and forth on the social media, and also the interviews, because they're listening all the time to each other. And you've got Mohamed Elshorbagy going on about his 23 years of age and so much time, and the other guys haven't got any real time left. Keeps promoting that continually. And then you've got somebody like Nick Matthew who's saying how he's really got nothing to lose and he's going to enjoy the match. Trying to get a little bit back put the pressure back on Mohamed Elshorbagy.
Sure.
I don't think Matthew will be in a nicey-nicey, I'm going to enjoy this type of mood, because that's not his personality.
And out 1-3.
Far from it. Maybe for the first couple of rallies, but then it's gone.
Yes, lad. 1-3.
I think you see in many sports these days, PJ, two titans of the game playing in a semi-final or even a final with an 11-year age gap.
No, that's true. This really is becoming one of the great rivalries in sport. It's funny because Nick Matthews seems to have rivalries wherever he goes, doesn't he? James Willstrop, Ramy Ashour, Gregory Gaultier, now Elshorbagy. I mean, the list is endless.
I'm a Shabana.
Yeah.
I'm sure one or two like him, possibly. I suppose that's the situation, isn't it, when you're at the top of the game?
Sure.
I mean, you know that when Mohamed Elshorbagy is getting really cheeky is when he sends Nick Matthew a happy 40th birthday card. There's a shutout. He's going to have a little word with him. Already a little bit going on.
And out.
Little words said to him behind. Watch this. He's taken where there's something there. Look, just watch. There we go. It's all there.
4-1.
Can't hide on
It's
TV.
just simmering, isn't it? Just bubbling over at the moment nicely. Just waiting to erupt.
Well, I hope you're not. Been erupting all week. It's killing me.
Yes, lad. 4-1.
We may have slightly winded here.
Well, he's not erupting. Oh, a little bit of a knock on the knee. Probably. Oh, the racket, just a bit of racket on the knee. There's only a little tappy tap.
Yeah, yes.
Just a little tap on the knee. I'm sure he'll do a few knee exercises.
Smart tactic by Nick Matthew, though. He's doing a good job of controlling the pace of the game at the moment. Not allowing this Elshorbagy onslaught.
I have to say, PJ, that I haven't actually seen Hamid Elshorbagy play really well yet in this tournament. Although he's got through, which shows.
That's not too bad then, is
No,
it?
no,
Really? Not
but-
playing very well and through to the semis of the...
Honestly, have you seen a combination? I mean, we've seen Nick
I'm
Matthew.
agreeing with you. I just think it's quite funny.
Yeah.
5-1.
If he is going to play well, it's got to be now. 5-1 for Matthew in the first game.
Wow.
And that is, I'm sure that's got to be the world record when he hits that forehand. He was doing it against Coppinger last night.
Stroke to Matthew.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well, they're rewarding Nick Matthew here for trying to get through and play the ball. It's a fair comment.
It's all happening. Review.
Let's see this again. Well, the words are being exchanged on court now, not just on social media. Watch this again. It's a poor shot from Elshorbagy down the line, squirts out into the middle.
I think that's a stroke, though. Why? You think that's a stroke?
No, not looking at the slow motion here.
That's
Gets
not a
through.
stroke.
It's just a let ball. I think there's
Yeah,
some
just a bit of
minimal
traffic.
interference there.
Bit of traffic. You do get traffic. Two big guys on the court. It's not a stroke. Slightly ambitious.
Has one review remaining.
John Mazzarella, the central referee for this
During the
last
video
semi-final.
review, no comments, please. Okay, and no further warning. 2-5.
He's
just
certainly keeping the
asserting
players in their place. Yep, fair
Yeah.
play.
Just making the point that the players are not allowed to talk to try and enhance the fourth official on the review.
Pace has gone up.
He's mixing up the paces very well, though, Matthew.
Well, if the accuracy levels are there tonight for Nick Matthew, like we've seen time and time again in these big matches, it's going to be very hard for Elshorbagy to implement this pace.
Two forehand winners from Hamid.
3-5. Down.
Slightly tentative on the
4-5.
forehand volley drop there, Matthew. Trademark shot normally for the Englishman.
Yes, lad. 4-5.
I think these players will certainly be keeping the officials busy tonight, Joey.
Yeah, there's going to be a massive battle for the middle of the court. Both quite similar physiques. And it's now Elshorbagy's turn to make an unforced error on that forehand volley. It's a loose ball from Matthew. Just closing the racket face over. Still a bit of nerves, do you think?
I think without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, this is no strange situation to either player, but Nick Matthew, have to say, has a slight edge in the experience department. And for me, I feel that Elshorbagy's just trying to relieve that pressure by saying he's not feeling any pressure, where in actual fact, it's impossible not to in this kind of a situation.
Ball wasn't deep enough, with no access.
Well, again, the words are carrying on.
6-4.
John Mazzarella's already warned both players about any verbal exchanges.
It was the one previously, though. It was the forehand volley that Matthew was able to claw back. He was saying about the movement of Elshorbagy, but lots of games being played by both players.
That's good strength across the middle, the fist pump from Elshorbagy. Matthew just signalling to the referees that he felt that the movement of Elshorbagy, watch this here, backs into the line of Matthew. Didn't look the case there in the replay.
Didn't look the case there at all. It's just hitting his shot and moving. I don't think he was taking exaggerated amount of space. Well, these guys really are prime examples of hard-nosed squash players.
Stroke to Elshorbagy.
It ends in a stroke.
6-all.
Well, it's clear to see from the replay there, another poor shot from Nick Matthews. So Mohamed Elshorbagy's done very well to claw his way back from a 5-1 deficit. 6-all in the first. Crucial first game, just like we saw in the first semi-final. It really was the undoing of Gregory Gaultier. Didn't feature at all after losing the first in 35 minutes.
Yeah, I think this will be a different story, though.
I agree.
7-6.
Different mentality of player. But Elshorbagy has got a huge momentum shift, and this is where Matthew has to start going up that extra gear mentally as well, which he's so adept at doing. Elshorbagy looks like he's loosening up a bit more here, PJ. His movement and his hitting is more in sync. And there's quite not there on the drop shot. Matthew just hanging on.
Oh, this is pressure.
Oh, he's hit it back on himself there. Watch how Matthew shapes up for this one. Desperately needed that rally, Nick Matthew. Puts in the straight drop shot. Shorbagy looks to gun it down the middle. Hits himself. But Matthew was there, he read it. Even if that hadn't hit Shorbagy, Matthew was there to volley.
It's going to be a stroke.
Yeah, he's read it again. It's 2.
8-7.
Down the middle. One forehand side previously, this the backhand side, and Matthew seeing it early.
Well, he's reading it now, isn't he? Sometimes that's a clever shot played every now and again, but a little bit too familiar from Shorbagy. It's just raw power from Elshorbagy. Slightly loose from Matthew here, but Shorbagy leaps onto that cross court.
Out 8-all.
Really does have that look in his eye, Mohamed Elshorbagy.
Well, he managed to just get that deceptive drop shot. Oh my goodness me. Clever shot from Matthew. What a brilliant shot from Nick Matthew. That is such good improvisation from him. He very rarely ever plays the volley boast. This is court awareness where his opponent is, slanting it round, and Shorbagy, not even the jazz splits, able to get that one back. And there's the fist pump. Snarled away there. That's more like it. We love it, don't we, PJ?
Trademark Nick Matthew. He's on the receiving end for most part of that rally. Shorbagy bent over double there into the splits. Matthew's doing a very good job of extending some of these early rallies. Although it's Shorbagy trying to force the pace, Matthew's making the Egyptian do a fair share of the work.
That's going to be a stroke.
I think Nick Matthew made contact there with Shorbagy. It affected the line of his shot.
He didn't touch me. I swear to you. The people are laughing at you guys. He didn't touch me. That was a stroke to me. He didn't even touch me.
Well, discussion's going on. This is massively important.
Stroke to Shorbagy.
Yeah, he didn't touch Shorbagy.
There's no contact there.
Yeah, okay.
Didn't look as though there was any contact at all there.
He might have
from
actually
Nick
hit his
Matthew.
own arm, Matthew. He might have hit his left arm himself.
First person to ask for a let. I hit him on my backswing. You gave me your decision. You can't say that I didn't have to.
He didn't even touch me.
Decision on the
I
first
considered it
decision.
stopped. You
The
told me
first
stop.
decision where Matthew... Yes, let.
Ah! Guys, review, guys. He didn't touch me. Review. Review. He didn't touch me. Review.
Well, he's reviewing this. It's rightly so. There was no contact we can see from the cameras, PJ.
Shut up, man.
No. Listen, Mr. Shorbagy. Mr. Shorbagy, are you asking for a video review?
Yeah, of course I am.
Yes.
Of course I am.
Yeah, okay.
Well, he looks very,
Video
very angry.
review of
He's got to keep a
Shorbagy
lid on
from
things
the
here,
yes left
Elshorbagy.
If he wants to play like that, I will.
No.
So we are going to see a video review.
Don't go there, please. No, no.
So let's see this again as the ball comes out into the middle.
About the review, but after what happened there, like, is
I think
it like
Matthew claimed that he made contact
No, and
with
I've dealt with
Shibagi.
it.
We can't actually see
Yes.
that on the
No, there's no
overhead camera.
contact. There is actually no contact.
He
No.
just misses the arm. You see Shibagi's left hand just move out of the way of the swing.
I think his own racket actually hits his own body, and he thinks possibly he's brushed Shibagi.
No, lads. Decision.
Well, it's all happening here, PJ.
Matthew,
Well, we knew it would.
no reviews remaining. Mr. Shibagi has one review remaining. Hand out.
John Mazzarella's.
I don't understand.
Yeah, it's a no let on Pardon? To Shibagi. Shibagi. Hand out 9-all. And no. We have given a let. That has been overruled to a no let on your position there. So it is hand out 9-all.
Well, he actually he's got it right here, John
Has one
Mazzarella.
review remaining.
I hit him with a racket.
No, look, the video review has given the decision, and I've got to go with that.
That's a farce. You've actually given
No,
every
the
decision,
video review is finished. Play on.
every decision in the book there.
Hand out.
Again, the mind games continue between Elshorbagy and Nick Matthew. Shibagi was adamant that there was no contact whatsoever in the swing of Nick Matthew, and the discussions
No,
continue. There certainly is no love lost here. I can't remember how long ago, Joey, it was that we actually had that decision, but
Well,
Hand out 9-all.
we're at 22 minutes for the game. There was a big, big stoppage there. But what we have now is they're locked in at 9-all. I really do think that they're going to have to get the gloves out for the second.
Yes, lad.
Oh, we've got more review action. PJ, you're earning your money here.
Video review on the yes let decision.
I'm curious as to why he didn't play the ball here, Joey.
He had him shut out. He hit a cross court and he won the
Should
rally.
have just
didn't he?
played it.
Yeah.
Should have just played the ball hard and relatively low cross court. Nick Matthew doing his best to get himself out of the way. He could play the ball. There is enough
Yeah.
of the front wall to hit.
True,
there.
and he would have won the rally, actually, to be fair to him anyway, outright.
this
See
again.
here, it's a good decision.
Yeah, there's plenty
That
of the
is a good
front wall.
decision.
Yes, lad. Decision upheld. Elshorbagy has no reviews remaining. 9-all.
So the drama continues.
Yes, lad. 9-all.
Well, he's got the bounce. Got the slightly fortunate bounce. Shibagi snarling with his fist bump. So
10-9, game ball.
the number 2 seed serving with game ball. The unforced error from Matthew. The bounce on that sidewall happens again for Elshorbagy. It's like he knows the court inside out. Very streetwise.
Elshorbagy leads by 1 game to love.
25 minutes. So competitive. Brilliant squash at times. Mind games galore. Elshorbagy takes it 11-9. He leads Matthew by 1 game to love.
Well, another high-octane first game here in this second semi-final. Elshorbagy wins it 11-9, but again, you can really see the huge amount of respect for these two, but there is no love lost whatsoever. Elshorbagy trying to get into the head of Nick Matthew. A couple of unforced errors from the Englishman, who's got sucked into the relentless pace of Elshorbagy. It was the Egyptian that played the big points very well indeed. He's stepping up the court, he's taking the game to Nick Matthew, he's not allowing the Englishman any time to take the ball into the front of the court. Some very long, grueling rallies, but it's Mohamed Elshorbagy with the all-important first game. He leads by 1 game to love. Look at that for a reaction.